Okay, everybody, thank you. Moving along. I hope you're finding this exciting. I do want to put in, before Marissa joins us, I want to put in a couple of things into the chat box here because I know people are texting me off on the side with some information. Actually, you know what? We can wait. I can wait until after Zoe's done and then I'll put this in the chat box about the donations and so on. So we had a Venmo account and a PayPal account, and some of the links weren't working, but I got them to work. And then also some people who were looking to donate were asking, I don't want to do it online. Can I do it someplace else? And the answer is yes. So I'll put all that information in here and then in the post-event thing too, because we'll wait for like a week after before I donate stuff. I cannot, like, I'm getting little bing bongs every so often that people are donating. So thank you so much for this, because it does feel like a telethon in a way. I'm like, it's all to give you the support and the love that you need through your own journey and mental health support and whatever way you finding this resonating with you. But we definitely really love Mental Health America as an organization and the great amount of work that they've done. So this is going to be a nice little surprise donation that we're going to send to them. So Miss Marissa, if you are there, I just made you a co-host. I don't know what you have in store for us, if you need to share your screen or not, but you're more than welcome to unmute yourself and do what you need to do.
Thank you so much, Dina. This is awesome. It's
Thanks.
so good to see you.
I haven't
It's
seen
been
you.
so
Hold on.
long.
I'm coming in for a hug. I'm coming in for a hug. I haven't seen you in like 3D form in a very long time.
I know, it's wild. Probably like for about a year now.
Yeah.
It's so good to see you. And I'm so inspired by everything that you've done to put this together. So it's just such a rock star event, an incredible lineup for, for so many different people. So
oops. Thank you, my dear. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on one sec. While I'm going to, let me, they kind of like in little tiny segments. Okay, we're good to go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, welcome, guys. Let's see, just getting settled here. I don't need to share my screen, so we should be good there.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. So today I'll be guiding you guys through about a 20 to 25-minute guided meditation. This is really suitable for all levels. So whether you're new to meditation or if you've been practicing for your entire life, this is really great for anyone, especially keeping in mind that beginner's mindset that we like to have. So first thing that I'd like to do, especially for those of us who may have been already sorry, just admitting some people here, especially for those of us who might have already been.
Sorry, Marissa, I'll take care of admitting. You can ignore that. I'll take care of that stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Dina. Especially for those of us who have been already working throughout the virtual retreat today, I'd like to invite you to just find a new space that you can be joining us from. So that could be as small as just rotating your chair facing a different direction, or maybe going and sitting on a couch, or even sitting on the floor, however you may feel most comfortable. And I'll begin with a little bit of an introduction. So my name is Marissa Cole, as Dina mentioned. I'm the founder and the lead instructor of Mind Guided Meditation. We lead what I like to call a modern, secular, research-based meditation practice. So what that means is we like to provide a lot of the science and research that's out there around meditation and what it really concretely does, not only to our brains, but to our bodies, because there has been such an abundance of research in at least the past 20 years. So the study that I wanted to share with you all today is one that you might be very familiar with. It's a very famous one from Harvard Medical School in 2015. And basically what they found was that in taking a group of meditators, those who were new to the practice, and then those who had gone through an 8-week program, they found that meditation concretely changes our brain structure. And effectively what it does is redirects our brain activity from the limbic system, which is the more reactionary part of the brain. It's what controls our fight or flight response, and redirects that activity to the prefrontal cortex. So basically what that means is that through this very simple practice of just following our breath and bringing awareness to our body, what we're able to do is create actual structural changes in our brain, which then allow us to not only be more productive, more emotionally aware, but then also just more considerate and more open-minded people in general. You can imagine the effects that that has as you move throughout your day in so many different ways. So that being said, if everybody's ready, we can get started. And for our practice, I'd actually like to invite you to find somewhere where you can have your back supported. We'll be going through a Vedic practice today and integrating a bit of mindfulness as well. So beginning here, and we'll just allow our eyes to come to a close. And diving right in, we'll bring awareness to our bodies. So just noticing here all the subtleties of the body, beginning here with the breath. And beginning to notice the sensations that surround the breath. So bringing awareness to the chest, to the heart space. And I'd like to invite you to take one hand face down, just below the navel. And ever so gently, see if beginning here, you can start sending that breath deep down into the belly. Beginning to feel your palm as it rises and falls. In our practice today, you'll notice as we begin to quiet the mind and bringing awareness to the breath and the body that thoughts will begin to enter, sometimes totally random. In our practice, these thoughts aren't bad. They don't make us bad at meditating. Instead, we just recognize them as an opportunity to choose where to place our awareness. So once we notice that our mind has wandered and begun to follow one of these thoughts, just gently glide it back to the breath or the body. Very simple. Beginning to soften here. Beginning to notice the rest of the body, softening all the little muscles of the face. Noticing the position of your shoulders, if they're up by your ears, letting them just draw down your back. Sinking a bit deeper into your chair. Softening the belly. And together here, we'll take just a really sloppy, big inhale. Not trying to make it perfect, but just taking the biggest, most nourishing inhale you've taken all day. Maybe welcoming a bit of sound. Breathing into the back of the throat, taking a big, delicious inhale. And on the exhale, releasing the breath as slowly as you possibly can. Slowing down. Taking another just like that, big breath in. And slowly and easily letting all the air fall from your lungs. And we'll take one more just like that, big breath in. Calming the nervous system. And let it all go. Beginning to bring a bit more awareness to your environment here, with the eyes closed. Noticing the temperature of the air. Any movement or stillness, if there's a breeze. And expanding your awareness out further once more and noticing any of the sounds that you hear, moving beyond the sound of my voice. Both the most subtle and more pronounced. Again, doing our best here not to judge any of these sounds as good or bad. Just observing them. Almost with a childlike curiosity, seeing if we can investigate these sounds. And as we settle down into our practice, noticing as the body grows softer and the mind grows quieter, even if ever so slightly. We'll create this space now to welcome in our intention for this practice. And there's no need to give this too much thought, but just taking a moment and considering one thing that you'd like to welcome into your day. Something that feels good. It could be joy, creativity, spontaneity, whatever that word is, taking a moment and settling on one. And remember, there's no such thing as a good or bad, better or worse intention. Whatever you choose is perfectly fine. Once you have your one word intention in mind, on your next inhale, taking a slow and steady breath in through the nose. Repeat your intention to yourself and slow, easy breath out. Again, slow, steady breath in. Intention. And out. Once more, slow, easy breath in. Intention. And out. Letting it all go, releasing all the air from your lungs. Take the next few moments here to follow our breath. So we'll begin by just gently repeating to ourselves, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. Noticing each time the mind has wandered and gently coming back to this mantra. Let's try that now. Stay with it. Noticing when the mind has wandered, not choosing to follow these thoughts, but coming back to the breath. And releasing our mantra, letting the mind be easy. We'll bring all of that attention into the body as we begin our body scan. So beginning here by just floating your awareness up to the crown of the head. Nothing to do here, but again, just observe. See if you can notice any sensations that are there, perhaps a light tingling, or even the absence of sensation. Gently floating your awareness down to the temples, softening these tiny and powerful muscles. Feeling the corners of your eyes as they draw downwards, the brow to soften. Releasing the cheeks. Feeling your jaw as it loosens and slackens. If it feels comfortable, letting your mouth hang heavy, your mouth open slightly. Bringing your awareness down through the neck and the shoulders. Feeling them relax deeper. Traveling down the spine. Passing your awareness over each vertebra. As you do, softening and healing all the tissues, the muscles and nerves. Feeling them relax and release even deeper, moving down through the upper back and the lower back. Bringing your awareness to the belly, an area we so often hold tension without even realizing. On your next exhale, releasing the abdominal muscles, pushing them outwards, just letting go, letting them hang heavy. Traveling down through the tops and the bottoms of the thighs as they become weighted, melting into your seat. Down through the calves and the shins and into the bottoms of the feet, noticing all the intricate muscles of the feet and the toes. And I'd like you to imagine here taking a step back from the body, almost as though looking at yourself. And imagine watching as any tension or tightness, any stress is released down through the body, pouring from the crown of the head, traveling all the way down through each muscle and being released out through the bottoms of the feet. Clearing and releasing any tightness, any tension. And as we bring our practice to a close today, taking just a moment here to consider that our meditation not only benefits ourselves, but benefits others as well, those connected to us. And thanking ourselves for choosing to be here today. Whenever you're ready, gently opening the eyes and coming back into the day. Maybe taking a little stretch, rolling the neck. I always like to take one more big breath. Well, thank you guys so much for joining today, for being here. That was such a blast. I wanted to take just a couple minutes here, let that whole process sink in, see if anyone had any questions, or just allow ourselves a little bit of buffer as we move into the rest of our day. Really, the biggest benefit of meditation is not the meditation practice itself, but the effect that it has on the rest of our day. So I always like to leave a little bit of a cushion so that we can really integrate that in. Just come back into the space, notice the colors that we see, the temperature of the air, coming back into our environment slowly is really important. So it looks like Amelia has a question. Is there a good beginner's book you recommend, especially to give as a gift for someone who isn't necessarily familiar with the benefits of meditation? That is a great question. There are a number of books that I recommend. One of my favorites that is very simple and is actually not about meditation specifically, but I think is a great introduction to it, is a book called The Tao of Pooh. And it's a really fun, playful book, obviously directed towards adults, but the whole book is basically explaining Taoism specifically. So it is, I guess, a religious book, if that's something that you're in any ways not into. But what I love about it is it sort of explains this idea of being mindful and meditation in a way that is told through the story of Winnie the Pooh. So it's like really playful, it's really fun, it's a really easy read. So I've found that to be a really great introduction for people. Thanks for asking.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Well, kind of two questions. One, in meditation school, do they teach you to talk like that?
No, I think I was born that way.
Because sometimes some areas of work, there's certain pitches and things that you hit. So I was just wondering, when you went to meditation school, did y'all have to practice?
Yeah, I appreciate that. No, I think it's something that really, what I have found is that every single person is capable of tapping into that really peaceful place. And it's sort of like a natural byproduct of doing this practice so often.
Yes. And my second question is, I truly enjoy meditation. However, I know sometimes it could be negative connotations connected to it, religious wise, because I'm Christian. So is meditation, what do they call it? Something Eastern or the
Yeah.
practice, or like, how could somebody who has a specific belief incorporate meditation?
I so appreciate that, coming from a family of many different religions and a lot of different backgrounds, especially where I grew up in New York City. Meditation and yoga. So yoga is actually a science. It's a science that originated in ancient India. And the practice of meditation is actually completely secular. And yeah, Colleen just mentioned Jesus meditated for 40 days and 40 nights. That's something I love to talk about, because I think that so many different religions, so many different belief systems have, as I'm sure we're all familiar with, a very similar, very different practices of what we call them, but are effectively very similar. So in Christianity, oftentimes prayer or going to mass, so it creates a very similar effect for people. So that's really the way that I like to think about it. My grandmother was Southern Baptist, and she would pray, very often. And that is something that, to me, really just, that was her method of going to the same place that I go to in meditation. So to answer your question, meditation itself is completely secular. And then there are many different ways of teaching it. So there's different schools in Buddhism, as Colleen mentioned, Jesus taught meditation through prayer, or, prayer through meditation, however you want to call it. So yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Can I just say that what Amber did to my body this morning, Marissa just did to my mind, because Amber put us through a high intensity workout where I thought I was going to be dead. And you just revived me and made me feel so calm. And I was noticing tension in different places. And then I got very sad for a minute. Like I didn't know what was coming over me, but there was an emotional rush that happened. And I'm just so, so grateful because I don't think I've been that still in a year. So thank you for that gift,
Wow.
Marissa. Thank you.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
amazing to hear.
Appreciate that. So Marissa, I know you have an offer. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just to say
Yeah.
thank you for bringing me back. So I often struggle with, I've taken on meditation here and there, but I find my mind wandering. So to listen to you remind to bring it back,
Mm-hmm.
that's helpful because my mind was wandering again. I was thinking about what do I have to do? I'm a mom and my son is not feeling well. So it's bothering me, but you brought me back. So thank you.
I love that. Thank you. Anyone else have anything to share before we move on to Zoe's session? And Marissa, I was going to say, while anybody's unmuting themselves, I know you have, for anybody who's joining us now that didn't hear me in the beginning, we do have a post-event. In about a week, we'll follow up with a post-event email with a thank you note, a post-event survey, links to all of these recordings. And then a lot of our speakers are doing some promotional items and discounts and things like that. So I think, Marissa, you might have something for corporate wellness, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So the client that I run, Mind Guided Meditation, we solely do corporate in-house meditation practices. So we go to companies and teach employees how to meditate these days over Zoom. So as part of the retreat, I'm offering a complimentary first session for anyone who is involved in any kind of a corporation or runs their own company. It would be my pleasure to lead you guys in a meditation.
Thank you so much. That's so wonderful. I hope people take you up on that offer because that was delicious what we just experienced. I appreciate